Hey, what is going on, crypto people? It is the Crypto Siege with another day in the life, and the crazy life that is the digital asset space. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to each and every one of you. What is going on with the market these days? When will the crypto bear market end? When is this thing going to end? We're going to get into it. We're going to hear from two of my favorite TA guys, Blockchain Backer and Alessio Rastani. And yeah, they're going to go over some charts that they feel are more significant than just the crypto charts. So we're going to get into that for sure. We're going to get into a little bit of what exactly is this greed and fear index and how does it play out in all of freaking crypto. So guys, listen, this is your XRP Ripple daily news. And around 0 to 10 minutes. So guys, let's look at the market real quick because we all know that the market is doing what the market does. The Bitcoin dominance is at 43.9%. Yeah, that's not a great number. The total cryptocurrency market cap is at 1.33 trillion on 24 hours, up 4.1%. But gosh, we're still down, right? Remember, the total cryptocurrency market cap at one time was over $3 trillion. Guess what? Bitcoin is at $30,556. Again, Ethereum is at $1,902. Again, and XRP is at 39.9 cents. Again, let's take a look at what's going on with the fear and greed index. This is the multifactorial crypto market sentiment analysis. A lot of us early that have been in this space for a while, we know about the fear and greed index, but it's really important to pay attention to it. I'm going to share with you why. Extreme fear in the market. Extreme fear. Just as last updated sometime earlier today. Historical values yesterday was 14. Wow, 14 on the index. Last week, 10. Last month, it really extreme fear was at 20. So yeah, it's definitely a massive fear in the markets. Why it's important to pay attention to that, I think is the crypto market. Why measure fear and greed? The crypto market behavior is very emotional, guys. It's very emotional. People tend to get greedy when the market is rising, which results in FOMO, and that's the fear of missing out. Also, people often sell their coins in irrational reaction of seeing red numbers. With our fear and greed index, we try to save you from your own emotional overreactions. There are two simple assumptions. Extreme fear can be a sign that investors are too worried. That could be a buying opportunity. So we had this buying opportunity for at least the last 12 to 14 days. When investors are getting too greedy, that means the market is due for a correction. Therefore, we analyze the current sentiment of the Bitcoin and crypto market and crunch the numbers into a simple meter from 0 to 100. 0 means extreme fear, while 100 means extreme greed. Very interesting stuff. So I'm going to let you guys listen to Blockchain Backer first. And then I'm going to let you guys listen to Alessio. Listen to Blockchain Backer, in my opinion, the preeminent XRP TA guy for the XRP community. A lot of great TA guys out there, like my guy Alessio, like my guy High Altitude Investing, and my guy Do It Yourself Investing, but they tend to do all of the market. And Blockchain Backer tends to do all things kind of related to XRP for the most part. So take a listen to this. It's just a couple of minutes here.
Up in here. So that's quite interesting to see that the Dow Jones has gone through that recovery in there. And yet crypto hasn't quite followed or caught up with it yet. So as we head into this week, this is the main thing that I'm really watching. I think this is kind of the big storyteller of the whole market, is whether or not these price levels right here in this market are going to hold. And I've been watching it so closely. It's definitely been torture for 18 days, watching it every day, checking it multiple times every day. And I say multiple times, I mean probably 100 times every single day. But, I'm right there with everybody. I still own all of my altcoins. I still own all of my stuff. So I've been through this whole journey of pain as the majority of the market looks the same. I get asked all the time, what about Bitcoin Cash, EOS, Zcash, Dash, Ethereum Classic, XRP, a lot of the rotations.
Yeah, I've been asking that, right? You guys have heard me on the channel say time and time again, I don't know. I don't know if Bitcoin Cash, EOS, Zcash, Dash, and Ethereum Classic, are they going to be able to gain some of the new, if any new market share, if there's even any new market share? And I think that's the biggest challenge, is the size of this pie. It doesn't feel like it's increasing. Doesn't feel like more people are getting into crypto. In fact, it feels like the opposite. It feels like more people have left and are leaving crypto. That's what it feels like to me. And I think anything new that comes in, I don't know if they're going to go to OGs. I feel like they would go to the Terra Lunas, to the Solanas, the freaking Avalanches, right? And Polygons. That's what Near Protocol. That's what I feel like they're going into, the newer projects, but we'll see.
That I did in the market. And yeah, I still have all of them waiting for a retracement to come in to give a defined story on what's going to happen, because it doesn't matter how diversified your portfolio is, you're probably experiencing a lot of the same things. Even if you own things like IOTA or Litecoin, Monero, Neo, Stellar Lumens, 0x, Basic Attention Token, Digibyte, Tezos, they're all the same, right? Everything has looked nearly the same in this market. And it's been very interesting to watch how this market has played out so far, and that the majority of the cryptocurrency market and the majority of the things that had a lot of development that happened during the off season of the bear market in 2018, 19, and 20 still sit below those highs. And whether if we're going to have something like this in this moment come in this market right in here, and that's finally the opportunity for those ones that have kind of just spent all these years consolidating below those all-time highs, if it's their opportunity to take off. We know that we're in extreme fear, and we know that we've been in extreme fear, the levels of extreme fear, by staying down here, as if we were in the C19 sell-off or as if we were in the capitulation event back in 2018. Both times that we've had extreme fear of this magnitude and stayed down here, stuck at a 13, 12, 10, 14, 9, all these times that happened where we stayed down at these levels, all marked bottoms. And like we talked about last week, the length of time that we've spent doing all of this and the structures that we've had over here for Bitcoin have all mimicked that of the amount of time it takes for full bear markets to end up completing themselves. And that we've seen that happening over here with a capitulation event occurring here for Bitcoin, while we're getting very similar structures to what we've seen in full-blown sideways corrections in this market, right? So the thing will be heading into this week is to see if we can start finally working our way up. And if these lows do hold and that we don't have some big breakthrough come through here, where Bitcoin is just giving us another one of these things right back down in here. And to each their own and how they want to handle it.
So this is the total cryptocurrency market cap. And he's got this, he drew the support line there with the green. And the question is, will we begin to work our way up? With the fear and greed index, he was showing that those are the numbers that historically have pointed to the bottom, right? Being the lows, we're at the bottom of the market. And Alessio Rastani, well, I'll let him tell you what he says as well.
But in crypto, running flat corrections that last extended periods of time, like we've had in here for the altcoin market for 1 full year, and like we had for Ethereum back in here from March through December for 10 months, and for Bitcoin's shorter version that only lasted 2 months here back in 2017, these were the levels that held. If these levels get taken out in here, then it's officially something different. So the whole market is very scared that we're going into a super mega bear right now, right? But it's pretty wild to see that fear and greed index is at the levels of what the bottoms looked like back in 2018 and during the C19 sell-off, that our extreme fear levels have reached those exact same levels while we've gotten down to these exact same places that we've seen in these corrections before.
And so that's very, very important to know. Well, I always tell people, about this bear market, when is it going to end, right? We have the discussion in the Crypto Seizures home, and I'm sure a lot of you have had these discussions with your significant other. It's been a long time. It really has been a long time, because we're expecting kind of what we saw at the end of 2017 and 2018. Those kind of runs. We had a little run, right? We all remember that brief period of time, 7 days, where the block folios were right. They looked absolutely amazing. but we never did get that end of 2017, December 2017 into 2018 type of run. And what blockchain backer is saying here is we're at that moment in time, if you will, because we're at the mark, we're at the same numbers, we're at a total crypto market, to altcoins, right? Where they kind of had to hold that level there. And will we see something begin to start to happen in the coming weeks? I do think it's interesting that Wendy O said something about the end of July. She's kind of a TA person. She really relies on the charts to see something happen. But does that mean, end of July means a whole month of June? It'll be very, very interesting to see. Now, let's take a listen to Alessio Rastani. This dude is a well-renowned TA guy. Take a listen to what he has to say here as well.
So let me make it very clear that I don't think it's likely that we're going to break this support level here.
Let me go back.
Back in February, I mentioned this particular pattern to you. This pattern, which is also called the Jaws of Life pattern, can have an important clue for the major markets, in this case, the major stock markets. So I'm going to explain to you in this video what this...
And why we're showing the TA for the stock market, and Blockchain Backer does the TA for the stock market as well, is because, the crypto market is very much aligned with the NASDAQ, right, in the stock market. So Blockchain Backer just said in the video, he finds it a little interesting that the market has begun to recover, right? If 3 or 4 red candles, right, 3 or 4 green candles rather, but the crypto market hasn't yet.
This pattern here on this chart is like telling us about the major markets. For example, is it warning us that a potential long-term bear market is likely, or is it telling us that a bear market is now less likely? Join me. All right, guys, welcome back. Before we talk about this chart and what the implications this pattern, this Jaws of Life pattern is for the major markets, I want to first talk to you about what I've been saying to our members for the last several weeks about the chart, the S&P here. So let me just play this for you very quickly and we'll come back. So provided the S&P continues to remain below 4,000 and 4,068, pressure remains to the downside, and it's quite probable that we may actually test this lower support region here, this 34 monthly EMA, this pinkish line you can see here, that brings it about approximately 3830, so 3,833. And again, there's also another support level here, the 61.8% Fibonacci retracement, the potential wave 3 here, so 3,830 to 3,811 are going to be key levels of support here for the S&P. Should we continue to see more downside pressure, which is looking now likely. Dumb money confidence in a rally in the stock market has actually been very low. Low optimism and extreme pessimism, not seen since the 2020 pandemic, the 2020 crash that we had there, as we can see. Okay, so again, extreme pessimism and dumb money, which I think has got even more extreme recently. Again,
the dumb money thing here is that it's kind of very, very similar to the greed and fear index. When people are very, very fearful, they begin to sell out of their things, right? And so just pay attention to that. And what he's doing here in this current video is he is replaying video that he did on May 22nd and one he did on May 12th.
These usually precede major bounces or relief rallies. All right, guys, welcome back. Let's continue. So as I've been saying in the member videos for the last several weeks, I said as long as price can remain below resistance, then it's more likely the price actually could test this level. You can see here this pink line, which is the 34 monthly EMA, a very important level on the chart here. And you can see it acts as support. We can see also the price has held the support for now anyway, and it's bounced off from this level quite nicely. You can see also on the daily chart. Here's the daily chart of the S&P, and you can see a nice move into the support zone. Again, the 34 monthly EMA here, and also the 61.9% Fibonacci retracement level, and we bounced off very nicely off these levels. Okay, so far so good. Now, also in the member videos, we warned that because this divergence, this massive spread between dumb money and the smart money confidence in the stock market, you can see this massive spread widening between the confidence of the smart money and dumb money in the stock market here. We can see that whenever the dumb money is this much depressed and pessimistic about the stock market, then this usually comes before a major relief rally or a major strong bounce on the stock market. For example, we saw extreme pessimism recently. Again, this chart is courtesy of Jason Geppert. We saw extreme pessimism recently, not seen since the March 2020 COVID crash. You can see here the last time it was this low was back in March of 2020. as we can see here. So again, whenever we see this much low optimism or extreme pessimism in the dumb money sentiment, again, this usually comes right before a major relief rally or major bounce.
Right. So, and again, something that blockchain backer said as well, pointing to in relation to the fear in the market. We haven't seen that since like the COVID, right? The COVID 2020 deal. And Alessia Rastani is saying the exact same thing. And we did in the market, the stock market get, here it is, the 4 green candles. And again, guys, crypto tends to follow the NASDAQ. The stock market tends to follow that. It may be lagging just a little bit behind here, but it tends to follow it. So for me, guys, I like to listen to the TA guys to gain a perspective, And we have begun, excuse me, we have begun to risk off, right? Kind of to de-risk, right? We have a saying, and gosh, I can't remember the saying right now, but to think winter in the summer, right? So when, to always think about what could the worst situation be and to prepare for that, even though it may be going good, even though we may get 4 green candles, even though we may begin to see the relief rally, even though we may begin to see that, to think winter and the summer, right? And so we've begun to add to our gold positions. We've begun to accumulate some cash so that we can put it in places where we can earn 5, 6, 7% of our money, right? The dirty, nasty fiat. And we also have increased our position in stable coins as well, right? So in preparation for something that could possibly happen. So ultimately, when will the crypto bear market end? Right? It's anyone's best guess, but I tend to go to the TA guys to kind of give me a better perspective. So I hope that has been of value to you guys. Again, in the crypto Caesar's home, we're in the risk off, de-risking mode, if you will. So any available cash flow is going to gold, stables, dirty, nasty fiat into a place that we like to do, which is in our cash value dividend paying policy. So in any case, guys, listen, I'm going to end this video. Well, let me tell you, this is just wraps up your XRP Ripple Daily News. Today is May 30th of 2022. Thank you so much for hanging to the very end. We appreciate you guys for sure. Do me a favor, hit the like button and hit the subscribe button. The like button for sure definitely helps with the algorithm on YouTube. We will break this curse, this hex on our freaking channel of every time we get to 7,600 subscribers. It tends to go madness. So do me a favor, share the video, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Be sure to comment below. Do you think that we're going to get that 2017, 2018 bull run in the digital asset space? I'd love to hear what you guys think about that. I'm going to end this video like I do all of my videos, guys, and remind you guys of this: that old money doesn't want you to win. But that's okay, though, because you and I are already winning. Have a great rest of the day, guys. I'll talk to you soon. See ya. Bye.